Hello everybody, and welcome to episode 6 of the Terraria Lightly Modded playthrough. Today, what we are going to be doing is making an automatic AFK farm. Now, this farm will be useful from here until the very end of the game. All you need, really, to make this super effective is the yo-yo. For the first step to make it super effective, you need a yo-yo, any kind will work, and some flower boots. So what you want to do, you want to equip them in your main equipable non-vanity accessory slots, and you just want to have them on. And as you can see, when I'm walking around on this grass, I can break it and it'll keep replenishing because flower boots will immediately put grass and flowers and stuff underneath you. So what you want to do is take the yo-yo and just aim it at your feet. And you can see that little explosion effect. What will happen is, as you can see, I'm slowly gaining some jungle grass seeds in my inventory. Now it's kind of slow, but it's definitely much faster than walking around and gathering them. The better yo-yo you have, the longer you can hold it down. As you can see, I have to click it quite often for it to go back. But if you have like code 1, code 2, or the special Crimson Corruption yo-yo things, they can work really well. Or if you're post-game, you have the Terraria from the Moon Lord, you can use that as well. So what we're doing right now, we're trying to get a bunch of jungle grass seeds, which will be very useful to the AFK farm. So once I get enough of these, I would say about maybe 40 is a good number to aim for, and again, it doesn't take too long. You don't need that many, or you can get more, but I think 40 is a good number to shoot for. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get 80, and I'll explain why in just a second. Okay, so now that I've gained, I got one extra, but that's fine. Again, more is better for this. What you're going to want to do is you're going to want to also get 80 or more jungle blocks. And by jungle blocks, I just mean mud. So once you've gathered those, I have all of that back at my base. So I'm going to teleport home, and we are going to grab those 80 mud blocks. So I'm just going to drop down here, going to go to my chest, and I'm going to grab 80 of these. So I've got 80 of those. We're going to put these together right here. I'm going to favorite them so I know that I need them. Also going to quick stack some stuff so I don't have to worry about it being in my inventory, because your inventory will fill up very quickly while making this AFK farm. So we have those. Now what you want to do is you're also going to want to go to an ice biome. And let's see, I have 23 ice blocks. You're also going to want to get 300 ice blocks. Now, that may sound a bit ambitious, but it really isn't too bad. As you can see, I'm just going to go right over this way, and I'm going to get them super quickly. This is definitely one of the situations where you're going to want to have VeinMiner if you can get it. You're just going to want to add the ice to your VeinMiner whitelist, and then boom, you're going to get a whole bunch of it. See if we can find some more. Now, this is a crimson ice biome, so a lot of the ice is going to be tainted with the crimson, which is okay, especially in hard mode, once you have access to the contaminator. And it's actually a very important factor to the farm once you get to hard mode. But for the purposes of right now, I'm just going to be looking for some standard, normal, uncorrupted ice blocks. So now that you have your ice blocks, what you're going to want to do is, again, just make sure that you've got 300. I'm going to take these off so that I can just put them back in my chest, because I want to be sure that I have the exact amount that I need. Because this is one where, I mean, you can put down more if you want, but it won't really change the effect. Now, this step with the ice is what I would recommend you do, because then you can get both standard underground and ice underground enemies. However, if you find that to be a bit too tedious, then you can just use 300 stone, because again, we're going to be getting a lot of stone making this farm. So now as you can see, we have stuff to make jungle blocks and ice blocks. That will both make this farm an underground jungle and underground ice biome. So that will help with some production output with the farm. Now what we're going to need to do is you're going to want to go to your demolitionist, and this is going to be the expensive part of making this. If you don't have VeinMiner, you're going to need a whole lot of dynamite. I ended up buying 4 stacks, as you can see in the chest here, and I also found a little bit extra on the side. So even this may not be enough. However, since I'm playing on computer, we're doing the lightly modded playthrough, I do have VeinMiner, and so I'm going to be trying to use up all this because there's really nothing else that I use it for. So I'm going to try to use it up, and then once I need to use VeinMiner, I will. But what you're going to want to do, once you have all these items, this is really all you need, because you're going to get all the additional items from the actual mine itself when you're making it, or the farm while making it. So, you're going to want to come down. As you can see, I'm underground, which is great. If you want to build a farm in the underground, you can. However, it will be a lot more efficient, and you can actually get much better loot by going down to the caverns layer. You can tell that's a cavern if you have a depth meter, it'll just say caverns, or, as you can see in the background right here, it changes. It goes from this dirt, like rocky filled dirt layer, to this pure rock. And this is the cavern layer. As you can see, if I fly up here, underground caverns, right? So you want to be in the caverns for it to be the most efficient and give you the best items. Now where I'm going to build it is going to be right here in this mushroom biome, because there's a bunch of them in this world, and I've already got a good bit of stuff, so I'm not too worried about destroying all of this. And it's actually also a really good spot because it's already cleared out a good bit, which is important. So it's going to be a very, very large area that you're going to be filling out. So I'm going to take all of this out of my hotbar, and I'm going to put these in the hotbar. See, can I do that? No, I cannot. It's fine though. I'm going to put all these up here, and basically, I'm just going to take it. I'm going to start blowing everything up. Okay, so this is kind of unrelated to this episode, but while mining, I found the, what's he called? It's the... I actually completely forgot what the NPC is called. Say, he's the guy that does the Dungeon Defenders event, is what makes him useful. The, Barkeep. That's what he's called. Tavern Keep, that's what it is, there we go. But, it's kind of unrelated to this episode, but I guess that is kind of a little bonus. If you're making this AFK farm, you're going to be making a big underground area, and so you can find certain NPCs down here, which will definitely be useful for the game. Okay, so, as you can see, I have completed clearing out this big area. I'm going to remove these. I did use VeinMine a bit, but just because didn't really feel like, you know, going to buy more TNT. I did have some TNT, but I didn't really want to use it for this, just because, you know, there may come a day when I use it, and I think this area is big enough, probably, but we're going to figure that out. So I'm going to come up here. This seems like it's about the midpoint, so I'm going to go up, and yeah, so I can see some stone up there that I can maybe grapple onto. So we're going to go up, and oh, barely missed. Okay, once I get on top of there, I will be back from maybe time lapse, yeah. There we go. I'm up. And so what we're going to do now is, let's see, frozen platforms. I don't want to do that because that'll use up the ice that I have. So I'm going to throw this here. You're also going to need a lot of wood. I just realized that I'm kind of underprepared in that department. That's okay, because all we're doing right now is we're going to find about the midpoint, and we're going to simply just build a 4-wide platform of wood. This is a pretty standard design for the farm, but I'm hoping to make it a pretty in-depth tutorial for it. See, this looks about centered, I would say. So I'm going to grab this, and I'm going to take care of the bats. And now that I've done that, I'm going to drop down. I think I'll just make it out of stone since I have it equipped. All this stuff can be whatever block you want it to be. Eventually, it's going to be mandatory that it's non-corruptible, because if it's corruptible, then it's going to be a problem, because when you get into hard mode, when the crimson and corruption can spread, all of this is going to end up being like turned into the crimson and corruption block, so it needs to be non-corruptible once you get to that point. At this point, it doesn't matter, it's just all the scaffolding and stuff. But we're going to come down here, we're going to get lost, apparently, right here. And I'm just going to put a torch here, maybe 2, just so I can see it. And now I'm going to go back up, empty out my inventory, and grab some more wood. Okay, everybody, so I just found out that my previous recording just didn't record for whatever reason. So, to quickly go over what I've done during that, it's going to make it like a really cool time-lapse of me doing everything, but looks like that's not happening now. What I did is I got this whole area cleared out, and there is, let's see, I made wood platforms that span, so from these 4 central blocks, they go out in either horizontal direction, going 84 blocks, and let me see, you can put a torch there. They go vertically 47. So the reason this is because this is the maximum distance that enemies can spawn from you. So now that I've done that, it is time to move on to actually making the walls. Out of the walls, we're going to be using gray bricks because they are non-corruptible blocks, which means once we get to hard mode after we beat the wall of flesh, we will not have to worry about these blocks being corrupted, which will then change the biome and thus cause the mob spawns to be different, which can sometimes mess up the farm. So now that you've made the outline, you're going to want to clear out all of the wooden platforms. As you can see, I've done that, and that just fell right through the ground. Very interesting. But you're going to come up to your 4 central platform blocks. You're going to leave those, and you are going to just build off with some more non-corruptible blocks off to the side. Okay, so now that you have built out in either direction, what you're going to want to do is you are going to want to make sure that every block in the area is completely removed. So I'm going to get rid of this one that I'm standing on. Going to, let's see, here's some right here. Again, the lag seems to be a recurring problem in the more recent episodes, and the first episode wasn't too terrible, but now it seems like it's becoming more and more of a problem. Okay, we're going to come over here, destroy this, and I'll probably just go ahead and time-lapse me destroying all this stuff too, because there's a bunch on the bottom. Okay, so I've flown through, and I believe I've gotten every block. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take out these enemies, and what we need to do at this point is you're going to need 8,084 non-corruptible walls. I'm using gray brick walls because I'm using all this gray brick, so it's just easy to make. Again, we're getting all the stone, so it should be pretty easy to get. Let's see, what block do I want to use? I want to use dirt so I can easily see this. Again, this will all right here be replaced with the gray brick. I just want to see the exact center for once we get to the point where we're going to be using it. What you're going to want to do is oh, I threw it away. Thought that I might have done that, but I thought maybe there was a chance I didn't. But I did. So you're going to take your gray brick, and you're gonna take it, and hopefully not get killed by bats. Yeah, see, this is why we're about to do what we're about to do. We're going to fill in all of these background blocks down here, okay? Leave the top untouched. But down here, you're going to want to fill in all of them. So, it can take a while. That's why I have the brick layer, which will increase my tile placement speed. And I'm just going to stand here and time-lapse this. Actually, I don't think I explained why we need to do this. The reason we're putting down all these walls is so that mobs cannot spawn down here, right? So if you lay down a player-placed wall, it will count as a space that a mob cannot spawn on. And so if you do this, then no enemies can spawn down here, which is very important because then that will increase the mob spawning above, right? Which is where we're going to actually be doing the farm. And the reason we had to destroy all of these blocks, like, it kind of doesn't make sense, right? Because if we're going to be just filling all the stuff in anyway, why would we waste our time doing it up here? And that is really starting to annoy me. I'm trying to do this and, like, zoom across. There we go. See, then it does that. Again, you can see, I probably should have saved this for a little bit further into the Let's Play, so I would have a little bit better gear, but I find that it's generally best to do this pre-hard mode, because then, like, you can tell some of these enemies are super annoying to deal with. Just imagine hard mode enemies while we're building this. For those of you, like, I say this a lot, for those of you who haven't played hard mode, just imagine these bats, but worse. Okay, everybody, we are halfway there. Definitely, probably living on a prayer, but going to keep this going. While I do this, I think it's important to say, because I haven't made this clear, I don't think rocket boots or some other form of wings, if you are in hard mode, definitely makes this a whole lot better. Because if you're not using rocket boots or wings, this is going to be a much more tedious process. You're going to have to build across scaffolding and then place it down. Rocket boots make it a lot better. See, I have a cloud in a bottle, a red balloon, and a lucky horseshoe. Put all of those together to make a horseshoe in a balloon, I think. It might be a cloud and balloon. I'm not sure. Lucky cloud and balloon? Something like that. I don't know. But I made one of those using my Tinker's Workbench, which is very helpful. You can buy that for 10 gold from the Goblin Tinkerer once you find him after doing a Goblin Invasion. And what this is going to do is, I mean, you can see, you can fly all the way to the top, place things. This farm, all that TNT in the beginning, it costs a lot. I said that in the cutout clip, or not the cutout clip, in the clip that didn't record. So I just realized that probably need to restate that. But don't worry, this farm makes up all of that really quickly. You can get, like, in pre-hard mode, I think it's upwards of, like, a platinum. I want to say every half hour. That may be a bit too ridiculous. But once you get to hard mode, it's definitely, you can get platinum really easily, which is the highest currency in the game. It's 100 copper, give you 1 silver, 100 silver, give you 1 gold, 100 gold, give you 1 platinum. So it gives it to you pretty quickly, especially in hard mode. So this farm will be hard mode optimized once we get there. So I will be sure to show you all that. Also, since we're in pre-hard mode, I'm going to be sure to go over to my other world, my main, or my personal world rather. I'll just show off that farm, show you how quickly things happen, and I'll show you a little bit of hard mode tips that you can use to get certain items if you're farming for very specific things. Back to the time lapse. Also, I want to point out something. It's been a while since a mob has spawned down here, right? It's because of all these walls. All these walls are preventing them from spawning. And now, we've made it all the way to the end, right? So you can see the final, like the left side wall. And that is really good because now, it's basically impossible. I mean, there's a super small chance something will spawn on screen. But I have seen that happen once, maybe twice, in my entire time playing this game. I don't even know if it's supposed to allow that to happen, but it has very, very rarely. But in theory, nothing should be able to spawn down here anymore, so it should just be, hey, Blood Moon. Really good timing, actually, because now I don't have to worry about Blood Moon enemies. Don't think I have to worry about them anyway, underground, but it's fine. It's good timing, I guess. But yeah, you can see, like, no bats, nothing spawning down here. Also, that mushroom biome, don't worry about it. It's not going to be a problem, because we're going to be far enough away that it won't do anything. Time-lapse time. Yeah, here's some enemies. They spawn just because I went to where this little patch right here was off screen, so you can see they spawn really quickly now because this is the only place that they can actually spawn at this point in time. Also, I apologize for all the weird, laggy jumpiness. My computer apparently doesn't seem to appreciate me switching between biomes so quickly. It's not exactly designed to be a gaming computer, so if you want to help with that, like the video, subscribe, all that stuff, notification bell. There's my little plug for that, I guess. I won't do that often, but it does, like, I don't have, again, like, maybe one day, channel could blow up. Never know. But I have 4 subs at the time of me recording this, and they're all people I know personally. So it's not going to be anything too big too soon, but, you know, maybe one day it'll get to the point where this channel can start paying for itself, you know? Be able to reinvest in some better gear, make better quality videos, but we'll just have to see. So, it seems there's a good bit of enemies spawning down here, and I'm not 100% sure where they're coming from. So I'm going to, once I finish off this big chunk, I'm just going to have to look and see if there's maybe like a super small tile that I missed somewhere. It's letting them spawn in, but again, in theory, they shouldn't be able to really be here. So, I'll have to look for that. Okay, everybody. I believe this is a completed wall. So we are going to break that. And we're just going to put down some torches randomly throughout. And that will just keep it lit up so we can see it better. Throw that one up there. Some of these will have to break so that we can make the actual mob spawning faster. So let's see, I'm going to go up here. Place some. Yeah, the lag makes me place down way more torches than are really necessary. You don't need this many. It does look like there are a couple holes in here. So I'm going to have to look because I know I think I made the right amount at least. So I must have put some outside of where I actually wanted them to be. Yeah, right here. So we're going to take this, break that, all of that, and nope, I missed. I'm gonna grab this one as well, and we're going to put it down where it's supposed to go. So maybe that's where they were spawning from. Look. Okay, over here. 1, 2, 3. There we go. Now I think this is a fully complete wall. And we're gonna throw one here maybe, and here, and here. And that should be good. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my stuff that I want in my hotbar back in my hotbar. I want that. And I'm going to teleport home. This is for 2 reasons. 1, I need to get a lava bucket, which is very important for this. Let me look. Where did I put it? Right here. And empty out my inventory. Do this. It's good enough. And I'm going to... yeah, so this needs to be up here. And I'm going to need some more gray brick. So I'm going to make some of that. Let me see, where's my stone chest, or my building blocks chest? Be more accurate. Yeah, I've reorganized all of the stuff since my previous Let's Play. I usually have a pretty consistent way of organizing everything, and then this series I just threw all that out the window. So I'm just going to make a bunch of these, and I think 200 should probably be good. Okay, there's a little bit more. That's fine though. And going to want... see, I've got the lava, I've got the ice. Okay, I think... yeah, I think that's good. Got those. Okay. So, we're going to drop back down here after I close the door because I like them being closed. And we're going to head down. Okay, so the gray bricks. These are going to be crucial to the build. As you can see, they've been used for everything so far. But these are super important because they are going to be used in the actual killing mechanism for the mobs. Also, I fast traveled away just so that the mobs would all despawn that were in here already, because that makes it a bit easier to do this. Okay, now I'm going to head to the middle, which I have marked off with these torches and the dirt. And let's see, I'm going to want to build a little enclosure around myself. And the granite elemental can go through the wall. Okay, I'm going to just build a small little thing, maybe. There we go. Okay, now I'm safe. What we're going to do is this. I'm going to make a little corridor that stretches all the way across. And, oh, we're at level 666. That's a ominous message. But we're going to build like a little volcano right here. And what it's going to do is, well, hang on, let me see. I actually think... no, this is fine, this is fine. I'm going to build it, I want to make sure I'm standing in the middle, and I'm going to just put these two up. So now I know this right here is the middle. Those are the middle 2 blocks. What I can do from there is I'm going to build out. So, this is looking like a problem. Going to do this, and then dash out, and then get speared by hoplites, it's fine, because I can just do this. And yeah, as you can see, these mobs are spawning like crazy now. That's because down below we finished with all that. So I'm going to go ahead and take these all out. Kill the baby slimes. And then let's see. We're at 2. We're going to want to extend maybe like 30 or 40 blocks. So there's 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, you know, I can't even really count right now because it's too dark. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, question mark. I'm going to build this out 40, I guess, and then I'll be back once I'm sure the dimensions are correct. Okay, so the 200 wasn't enough. However, 552, I believe, will be, because that's half a stack, more than half a stack, really. So, I'm thinking this will be good. I have confirmed that the base was 40 blocks wide. I just added an extra layer, and the trend is going to be, you're just going to keep building layers, and they're going to be 1 block, 2 feet, whatever, shorter every layer on each side, right? So this one is 40 wide, this is going to be 38 wide, because each side will have 1 block cut off for a total of 2. So I'm just going to build these layers. Okay, so as you can see, I've built it up. I've left 3 blocks on the top, and that just lets so like if it's slime, it's gonna be bouncing like this, and then it'll be here, and it might jump back and forth a lot, but eventually it will fall down here. And what's going to happen is that it's going to fall down into some lava. Now, the way we're going to be doing this is we're going to do a tiny little glitch in the game. It's not too much of a problem. And basically all it does is it lets a liquid container, so like a lava bucket, it lets it be basically infinite in use. So all you need to do, build a little U shape like this, with the left side being taller, hammer the block once, and then take your item, whether it's water or lava or honey, just put it down like that. And what it'll do is it'll flow down there, and then you can pick this one back up, and now you can see there's a thin layer of lava. Now, this is going to be, like, what, 6 wide? So, that little layer right there will be enough to burn enemies, but not destroy items, which is good, because you want to be able to collect the stuff. Now what you need to do is take a hammer, and then just hit 2 times on each of these, and that will make them a slope block, so that enemies can just walk on right up. Plus, it looks nicer, like this. So, we're just going to be doing this all the way down. So now what we're going to be doing is we are going to come down here. We are simply going to put some torches in here. Again, mainly just to make it look better. But, let's see, there's 1. And that is 2 blocks. So 1, 2, break this one, and throw in the torch. So now, it looks a little bit better. Now what we need to do is take these gray bricks, and we're going to have to build across here. And that will allow the mobs to spawn on top there, which is important, because if they spawn anywhere else, like if they were to spawn down here, then they wouldn't be able to get up into that lava, as you saw. And I might die because I let too much stuff accumulate here. Let's see, I think I'm good. Yeah, I think I'm good. So we're going to take care of all this, kill the bat, hopefully. There we go. We are going to build across here. Now, you may see there's a bunch of stuff spawning in there. That is because there's no wall, and so it's letting stuff spawn. I can fix that really easily just by putting some walls down there like I did here. And hey, we've got a skeleton merchant. It's very, very cool. I don't think he has anything that I want, really. He might have some yo-yo items. Hey, they're throwing a party. That's exciting. Let's see. Yeah, yo-yo item, rope, bombs, bone arrows. Yeah, I don't really want any of that stuff. I'm so sorry, whatever that was I just dashed into. But, So you can see it's already picking up a little bit. And that slime will, in theory, yep, jumped right in. We're going to break all these, fly back up here, and put this down like that. Now what I need to do, fill in all this. What I'm going to do for that is I'm just going to make a, well, I actually have that workbench from earlier. I'm going to put it down right here. And I'm going to make a furnace. If I can. Can I make a furnace? Let's see. Oh, I don't have the stone to do it. So I guess I will actually just go ahead and head back up to the surface. So I need a furnace for down there. See, I got a hell forge in here. But I'm going to open up this. And then, no, not this. This one. And I'm going to go ahead and make one of these. Wherever it is. Yep, furnace. Take that and put it right here. Then I also want to make another anvil. Just throw down there. Which can be made right here. And now I have all that stuff. I'm going to need some more stone, it appears. So I'll take that. And I think that's probably it. Trying to think, is there anything else I need? No, I've got the stone. So I'm going to fill all that in. And then I'll show you how to manipulate the mobs that spawn. So, this is all filled in now, so we don't have to worry about mobs spawning here. What I would do is so that you can easily collect the loot. Just come in here, just make some platforms, and put them down where you can stand 3 blocks, which just happens to be 1 block off the ground for me. And then right there. Now I can stand right here in the middle, and things will be coming down. Now, if you look at this, you might say, okay, so I guess you can stand here and wait, but you're not really getting anything. And the reason for that is this farm hasn't been optimized yet, right? So what you need to do is come over here, and you want to make yourself a trapdoor. Let me see if I can find it. I might actually need some lead to make it, which it looks like is the case. But that's fine. I can go up and make it quite easily, or, hang on. No, it's tin. Can I use that? Let's look. Here's this. And looks like the answer's a no. So, you don't really need a trapdoor at this point. For the actual content of what we're doing, you don't need it. So don't worry about the trapdoor. This can be filled in though. Let me go ahead and grab my gray bricks. And we are going to throw those up there. I also threw in a standard door right here with a little ledge that I can land on. And that guy's going to use it to try to get me. But joke's on him, because it looks like he doesn't really know what he's doing. Just take him out with the space gun. Walk in here. If I can open the door. There we go. And let's go. So now we're going to need to come back over here, make even more gray bricks. I know, we're making a lot of them, but it's kind of necessary to the project. And then take all of these. I'm thinking 200 should actually be enough this time, unlike last time. So we're going to throw that there. Step 1 is we are going to need to drop down here. And I would just go ahead and put down maybe like, we'll go a bit closer actually, because this will be important for hard mode. We're going to want to drop down this way, and put down just maybe like 1 block there that you can stand on. Then you're going to want to get the ice, and you're going to want to put down all 300 blocks from earlier. So we're just going to start doing that now. So now what you want to do, once you finish that, is simply, well, I mean, you don't have to do this, but you just want to use your bricks, lay them out on top, make it look a little nicer. That's what I would do at least. Let's see, there's a bat down there. Assuming it got in. from maybe the door got opened. No, so it must have been right there. That's fine. Again, we're not too worried about that right now, because we will have all of that taken care of in a little bit. Again, just make a little, one block is enough to make it look okay. So I'm just doing one block. Everything else, we won't even see that, so the one block kind of looks a bit thin, but it won't even be visible, so it's also nothing to worry about. Just drop down here, and do this. Now we're going to do that, and let's see, jump up this way, go around here. Now what this is going to do is, now this is a underground ice biome, so we can get both standard underground enemies along with some underground ice, which is really good, because that means we can get in hard mode, it's really where it matters. You can get some frozen turtles, which can drop frozen turtle shells, which are good. They give you, I'm trying to think, I think it's increased regen when under 50% health. You can also get ice mimics, which have their own drops, like their own special loot table. On top of that, you can also get regular mimics. This is all hard mode stuff, so at the moment it doesn't matter, but this is more of a hard mode thing. Yeah, there you can see there's a ice spiked slime. Let me see, can I get up here? There we go. These things are kind of tough to deal with because, as you can see, they shoot out ice spikes everywhere that then freeze you, prevent you from moving. But it's okay. We took care of it. There's another ice enemy. But what we need to do now is actually, this doesn't even need a trapdoor. This just needs a standard platform. So I can take this, do that, and go there. Now what's really going to make this go super fast is there a... I thought it was like dragging a feather for a second. What's really going to speed this up though is if you come over here, we're now going to be using the mud. So I'm going to want, like I said, 80. We're going to lay those down and turn them into jungle blocks by planting jungle grass seeds. I'm going to swap to this, place one down right there. And this I would do like maybe 10 wide. This one I made 30 by 10 for those that were interested in the dimensions. Actually, let's do 20, because that'll make it a little bit better looking, fit in with the aesthetic more. Then loop it in this way. And this just allows some plant life to grow on the inside. It also is necessary for them to actually be the jungle blocks, because if you don't do it like this, then the inside will not be grass, so it won't count as a jungle block. So we're just going to do this, and it's going to be not exact, but that's fine. Again, we're just looking for 80, and so we can add some more if need be. But this will make it a underground jungle, and underground jungle biomes will have a, I think it's 50% increased spawn rate relative to others, and so this is good because it will help with that. On top of that, you can use this in hard mode as a life fruit / Plantera farm. I can show that in my other world, which is what I'm going to do. So I can show off the hard mode functionality behind this. And this is actually not the right size, so I need to break this. But yeah, I'm going to show off the hard mode functionality in my other world, where I've already beaten Moonlord. Which, I mean, it doesn't really make a difference. As long as you've beaten Wall of Flesh, this will work the same way consistently from that point on. So I'm going to come over here, do that, then grab these, and I'll probably do one extra layer, maybe. But all that really matters is that you have the 80. So, actually what I'll do is I'll show you how to make the life fruit / Plantera farm, because I feel like that'll be more useful. All you really need to do is just take this and extend it out. So I'm just going to go out this way. And all this will do is this will provide a platform for life fruit and planetara bulbs to grow on, which are very important. Well, planetara bulbs maybe not so much, but because this is a underground jungle, technically, Plantera will also not be enraged while you fight her here, so you don't need to worry about that either. All you really need to worry about is the size of the arena, because really all you've got to work with is this down here, which can also be used. Another use for this big area is you can use it for farming chlorophyte, because again, it's an underground jungle, and so I'll show you all that in my other world as well. I think 3 stripes should be enough. I might add more in the future. But all you need to do is take your jungle grass and then just plant it everywhere. Right? And it'll be 80, so you don't need it to all be in the same spot. All you need is to put down where it'll grow 80's worth. So I'll do this, do that, wrap around this way, fall, put it up here, do that, do that, do this, and then I'll get some in there too, so I can start growing stuff. And should, in theory, once I put down another 7, because again I had 81, should be an underground jungle. There you go. Here you can see, let me turn the music up a little. You can see the background has changed, and the music is the jungle theme. And so that's important, because that means we're now in an underground jungle, which means that underground jungle mobs can spawn. You can see there's a jungle bat. On top of this, oh, what's that? Snowball cannon. See, there's another really good weapon that you can get from the underground ice. But let's see, I'm gonna try to take these guys out without getting too injured. That went well. And yeah, so now all you have to do, you just stand here and you get all the loot. Look, we got 9 gold. We got the snowball launcher, which will rapidly launch snowballs. So it's basically just like a sentry thing. I don't think I have any actual snowballs to launch out of it. It's also the snowball cannon. Why are these things all spawning? Okay, I'm going to have to check that out, because these things shouldn't all be coming from over here, because it should be taken care of, I would think. I'm moving so slowly. It's a very good question. I don't know where they're actually coming from. Maybe, I don't know. But okay, I'm going to troubleshoot this and then I'll be back. Okay, so I'm thinking what was happening is just I was at a weird place off screen, and so it wasn't registering the blocks over here, and so it was trying to spawn it like around here, and so probably spawned it like in the block, which wasn't okay, so it just pushed it down, because like this is a valid spawn location and this isn't, so it probably just I'm not 100% sure what happened, but it should be working now. So you can just stand in here and wait for all this. What I would recommend doing also is going out to get a water candle. So I'll grab one of those and you can see how much faster it is even from now, because now it's going super fast. It'll be even faster once we do that. Okay, so we're at the dungeon. All you need to do to get a water candle is just kind of walk down a little bit, come down here, and you can see one glowing down there. Can I get to it? I think I can. Yeah, I can definitely get to it. If you go below 0 at sea level in this, then you'll get a dungeon guardian spawn, which is basically just a super beefed up Skeletron. It's when you fight Skeletron and it turns to day, basically, is what it is. So it's not anything that's easy to kill. While we're down here, little water bolt tutorial, I guess. On these bookshelves are books, and that one was a water bolt. It's a really good magic weapon. I don't play with magic a lot in this game, but this is definitely one that I'm a fan of. You can just hold it down and it'll shoot, bounces off walls, goes for a really long time. But we are going to drop down here. We are going to go back to the mob farm, And what's going to happen is I'm going to put down this water candle right here, and it is going to make mobs spawn a whole lot faster. So at this point we are increasing the amount of spawns by 50% from the, man, I need to move that torch because it will not let me do this, but we're increasing the amount of spawns 50% using the jungle because jungle spawns are that much more, and we're now going to put down the water candle right here. We're going to zoom in. I like zooming in. I don't know if it actually does anything, but it gets everything off screen. And this guy, granite elementals, again, they go through walls, and so, but now I'm away from the granite biome, like, completely, so I don't have to worry about them spawning. It's really only in the beginning. But we've got the jungle, we've got the ice, and we've got the water candle. So this will spawn jungle enemies. As you can see, there's a very nice jungle slime here to represent that. We've got some ice enemies. The, what are these things called? Snow something. Like Flinks, Felix, something like that. Snow, I don't know. These snowball guys, though, they spawn. Oh, I got a compass. Very nice. Yeah, you can also get your, like, location slash statistic items. I'm not really sure what they're officially referred to as. But yeah, you can get those really easily here. Get a lot of gold here. You get some equipment. If you like spears or javelins, you get plenty here. I don't know why you would ever want these things personally, because you get like stacks upon stacks upon stacks of them from all the hoplites that you kill. Like, in that amount of time, we've got 48 more. So, yeah, I just throw those away. It's not like we'll be in a shortage of them. But that's the farm. You can also, got these dart traps. What I would recommend doing is when mimics spawn, you're going to want to have a dart trap on either side, because they'll spawn and they'll just be a chest. And they won't do anything, they won't interact with you. So what I would do is I'd put in a dart trap right there, facing that way. And I'd do the same thing on the other side, facing towards the center as well. What that'll do, you can just hook it up to a timer that'll shoot every 5 seconds, because that's the cheapest one. I think the dart traps can only go every 3 seconds or so. I'm not 100% sure on that either. But 5 seconds is all you need, because once they spawn, they'll just be there until you mess with them. So, yeah, those will shoot inwards. At this moment, I don't have any wiring because we haven't beaten the Skeletron yet. But if I go to my other world, which I will show you now, you'll be able to see how efficient it is in hard mode. It'll also get you a lot of souls in hard mode, which are good, depending on what biome you turn it into, which I can show you that as well. Gonna spawn in really quickly. Yeah, there's a solar eclipse happening, so we're going to have to be careful about that. Got a lot of slime. You can see here I set up a slime staff farm. I got 3. I think I'll just get rid of all this because I'm not too worried about it right now. And I'm going to realize that I'm not wearing Hermes boots. This is a problem. Where are my Hermes boots? Where are my Hermes boots? I don't see my Hermes boots. Well, luckily, that's not too big of a problem right now, because I can just get in here, open that up. I've got my companion cube too. Man, it is so weird being in this world. Don't worry about any of this, okay? I am just going to show you this. Why can't you open? Okay, close. I need my slime saddle so I can show something else off. Don't look at anything. Don't look at anything. I'm just gonna go down this way. Dodge all this stuff. I don't want to use my weapons because that would kind of also give away stuff. Use potion. You know what? You all know what the Terra Blade does at this point. Probably, maybe, hopefully. So I'm just gonna use it. Yeah, you can see this is kind of hectic as well. I always do this. I always do this. I got down the wrong one. It's fine. It's fine. We're good. We're good. They should be despawned. So here is this world's one. I actually kind of built this one a bit wrong because this is actually under where it should be, so I can have stuff spawning like down there. But that's fine, it's nothing to worry about. You can see I've got this timer going, and now every 5 seconds it will shoot. There we go. It will shoot a dart out, and so if there is a mimic that spawns, it will allow me to get that stuff from the mimic. So let me zoom in a lot. You can see there's just enemies pouring in from all sides constantly. Let's see, how long will it take for a mimic to spawn? Once it gets going, like really gets going, I've had times where like there's 3 mimics on screen at all times constantly. Like it's just, they're always there. So this is definitely a really efficient design. There we go, here's a mimic. Is it a ice mimic or a golden mimic? It's ice mimic. So you can get both in this farm, actually. So that's really useful, so you can get both the ice mimic drops and normal golden mimic drops. Let's see, do I have my contaminator? I do. So let's say, do I not have the solution on me? That will be a problem. So I'll actually show that off in a minute then. If you come down here, you can see, here's my chlorophyte farm. You can build these. I put 5 down here. You can probably fit 6 or 7 if you want to with the way chlorophyte works. But you just put a 5x5 thing of mud with one single chlorophyte in the middle. That will just make everything spread out because, again, underground jungle. Here you can see there's life fruit in hard mode. There's also a Plantera bulb that you can fight. You can see I kind of made it a semi-AFK Plantera fighting thing. All I have to do is grab my slimy saddle and break this. I said break this. There we go. Don't know why that happened. But get in here, do this, and then you can just sit here basically because you will jump on Plantera's head, do a lot of damage. You can swing the sword if you want. I don't really notice too much of a difference when I do, unless I swing it like sideways like this. But you can just summon Plantera and then sit here and not take any damage. The way this is set up, it makes you basically invincible. And it's just, you have 4 blocks of any kind, 2 target dummies, and then, well, you really only need 1 block. I do 4 so I can move around a little bit if I have to. But it makes you immune to all damage, which is really good. So I can just sit here, farm out Plantera. I've farmed out Plantera a lot, so I'm not too worried about it. Okay, so I found all these solutions, so I can show you how this works now. All you need to do is take the contaminator, and I'm just going to equip it in my hotbar, and come on down to your farm. You're going to want to walk in, come over, and I'm not too worried about that being open really. So yeah, I'm just going to trash all this. And I'm going to equip these. That one can go there. That one can go there. That one can go there. And that one can go there. So let's say you're wanting some Souls of Night, right? Because you are at a point where you need to summon... I can't remember what's only Soul of Night. I believe that Skeletron Prime is both, maybe. So let's just say you're doing mech bosses, I guess, and you need souls, right? So you can do that. Now, all of these have been turned into corruption blocks. In the other world, it will be crimson blocks. But now, we can get some corruption enemies to spawn. Or actually, they won't spawn, they'll just give us souls. So there we go. There's our first Soul of Night. And again, these things just pour on in. So there's another soul, there's another soul. So we get those a lot. Same way works with the Hallow. You just spray all of this, and it all turns into hallowed blocks. So things will start to drop Souls of Light. Let me get rid of that, that. So let's see. Yep, Souls of Light 2 times, 3 times, 4 times. So you get this stuff really fast. I'm going to come down here. So let's see, I've shown you the chlorophyte, I've shown you this. Again, this is just 2 target dummies. And then you go up 8 blocks from the ground, put down these 4 blocks. I might even do a video on a bunch of glitches that can be helpful. But yeah, if you want to go back to it being normal, because the biome chests for the Hallow and the Corruption can be, so they're mimics, biome mimics, and when they spawn, if you hit them, they'll activate, but they can go through walls, so that's why I have this turned off. If you just want to farm standard, I mean, mimics are generally what I would be farming because they give you a lot of money. I would just go ahead and grab my contaminator, spray this with some green solution, and now it's normalized. So hopefully this little guide has been useful. It's probably been really long-winded and stuff, but hopefully it's been helpful. In the next video, I'm thinking that what we're going to do is we're going to fight Queen Bee, fight Skeletron, and explore the dungeon. That might be a lot for the episode, but I want to do all that. I definitely want to finish off the mob farm that we have here, because this one is pretty much done. All we need to do is get the wire from the mechanic who is trapped in the dungeon. So in order to get in there, I have to fight Skeletron and beat Skeletron. So I think that's going to be next episode. Get all this hooked up, get the dark traps all shooting, and then this thing will be completely taken care of. It'll be done. It'll be nice. So, hope you all enjoyed. See you all next time.